Hey, okay. Sorry, I was trying to make sure that I delayed a little bit because I think the beginning of my video cut off last time. So hopefully that gave me enough room today. I'll test that out later. But anyway, welcome to day 5 of the Home Reset Challenge with the Organized Door. I'm Melanie Coffey. I am so glad to hear from some of you who are saying that this has been helpful and it's been encouraging to you and you're knocking some things out. You're just at least taking care of something. I know our homes can be very overwhelming, especially at the end of the holidays. So if you are still looking at things around you and you're not making as much progress as you want to, just remember we're on a journey. Doing something when you haven't, been doing something is a big deal, okay? So celebrate your wins, celebrate the progress that you are making. If you are getting some things out of a space, you are making decisions when you haven't been, you're getting some things out of your home, celebrate that. You're doing a good job. I do want to know if you have been joining us for all 5 days so far, please drop a message in the comment letting me know that you've been with me for the 5 days, letting me know what maybe has been the most helpful, or maybe a piece of advice that has been helpful, or just anything, to just know that you're tracking with me. Those kind of things really help me. That's probably the teacher part of me. I teach live classes on video, and I always tell them, I'm like, look, I need to know you're with me. Like, y'all gotta talk to me, you gotta do something. And so it's a little hard when I don't know, if it's going well for you, or if you need help. Please ask if you need help. I don't want you being stuck. Our belongings, it's so easy to bring things in, and it's really hard to put things out. And so if you're taking that step in this challenge and doing that, feel encouraged. That is something good, and I'm proud of you already for just at least getting rid of sections or going through sections in your home for 5 days, okay? All right, don't overwhelm yourself. If you've only got 30 minutes, you've only got 30 minutes. If you have less than that, you got 10 minutes, do your 10 minutes and do your best in that time. Doing your best in a time limit is still doing your best, okay? Avoid the enemy of perfectionism, okay? And I speak that to myself. Okay, so today, day 5, this is our 3rd day in the kitchen. We had 2 days in the bathroom, and now this is our 3rd day in the kitchen. And I had several people want pantry advice. So I'm actually, because I'm not doing a video tomorrow, because it's Saturday, I'm not doing a video on Saturday and Sunday or live. I'm going to go ahead and combine the pantry and the fridge so that whichever one you want to work on today, you have that advice and you have that information for tomorrow as well, okay? Hey, Jessica. All right. So my tip today is for pantry and the fridge. I just want you guys to be focusing on expired foods. Hey, Rachel. I want you to focus on expired foods. This is the best time to go through expired foods, because now instead of looking at every month and day on the expiration date, you can literally just look at the year. So if it's anything in 2024, it's expired, and older, it's going to be expired. So you only have to look at that last number, and that's a huge advantage in looking at expiration dates. And I know, because I look at them all year round when I'm helping people in their kitchens and their pantries, and I love it when it's right at the beginning of the year. Now, I wish so badly that they put the expiration dates on the same spot on everything, but they don't. So it'll take you time. It can take a long time depending on how much food you have in your space. So if you just need to do a section, like you're just looking at cans, or maybe you're just looking at half your cans, or maybe you're going to go through the chips or the snacks, just pick a spot that you can take on today and just start there and celebrate that progress, okay? All right. Looking for expired food. And then also, while you're going through your food, if you don't have a lot of expired food, or you want to look at a different area, thinking about what we're throwing away. Why did it expire, actually? Like, why didn't we consume it in the time that, especially if it's canned foods last a lot longer. So if it's expired, it had been there a little while. So let's just learn about ourselves real quick. Okay, right now I'm kind of looking at our cans. There are some new things in our pantry that have never been here. My husband has been really dreaming of making this caramel apple pie. We've never made that before, but he has been dead set on it. And we have like 3 cans of this stuff. Never had it before, okay? This is brand new though. He just got this stuff. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, this is a novelty item, right? This is not something we normally have. Could very easily go bad because it's a dream thing. He's wanting to make it. It might not happen. I'm going to do my best to push him to do it because That way he can use it. But that's something to look at. If we have food that's expired, was it connected to a dream food item? We wanted to make it and we just never got to it. TikTok foods, they make it look so easy. Things on Pinterest, you know, maybe you got all the stuff for it and then maybe you forgot you got the stuff for it or what recipe it went to. Or you just ran out of time. Maybe it was a holiday thing and you already did all these other holiday things and now you just didn't make it and now it's expired. Okay, well, could we limit the intake of that? Can we limit the inflow when we're shopping? If we're gonna bring it in for a novelty thing like that, what's like, make it right away. It needs to be like that day kind of thing. And that's not always ideal. That's not always realistic, right? We're planning sometimes weeks ahead our menu. But that's just something we're gonna learn about ourselves. Like maybe we don't need to impulse buy novelty items if we're not really good at making them and following through, okay? As part of our dream self we've talked about. There's a dream self of all the things we want to do, right? I love the idea of being a good cook and being a good baker and making all these fun things with my kids. I love that idea. That's like my dream self. If I was my dream mom who could do every single thing all the time and be this amazing, like super fun, crafty mom who does things all the time with my kids, that's my dream self. Now I can still be me and do those fun things, but maybe it's not at that level, or maybe it's not those types of things. If I can embrace the things that I am good at with my kids and the things that I do love and enjoy doing naturally with them, it's probably going to be a better thing to focus on than consuming a bunch of things into my home or bringing a bunch of things into my home without actually consuming them, okay? So we're looking at that dream self. This might apply to healthy food. Maybe, especially at the beginning of the year, maybe you're buying a whole bunch of healthy food. Maybe kind of, you know, think about your actual realistic self. If you have never liked broccoli in your life, but all of a sudden your dream self does, and you're thinking that you're gonna meet your dream self today, you might still not like broccoli. So we gotta realistically look at that. We're not going to just transform into this dream self, and we gotta be careful about spending money for her rather than who we are now, okay? If you're wanting to eat healthy, pick the things, the healthier versions of maybe what you already eat, or picking things that you know you do like and you have tried and focusing in on those rather than trying to change everything. It's the same thing with the organizing, right? Like don't try to completely organize every single space in your home at one time. It's too much, okay? All right, next thing, my thing about that is just learn about who you are, lean into the things that are so good about you, and adjust your shopping to avoid falling into some of the traps that are bringing things into your home that you can't do anything with, that you can't consume in time. Trying to think, I haven't gone through mine, so I'm not sure what's expired. Not sure yet. I don't have an example yet. Maybe those croutons. Okay, we do like croutons, but I don't love salad, and so those might be expired. That's your dream self. Oh, I'm gonna eat salad. Please. Okay. I can have a side salad, but a salad is never gonna be my meal, ever. Okay. Let's talk about, we can talk about, for your fridge, when you're going through expired items in your fridge, just focus maybe on condiments. I'm thinking particularly about my mom's fridge, and I was like, this would be a good 30-minute section. She has a whole drawer full of condiments, and I know just the other day, my dad was like, this thing doesn't actually look the right color. My mom was like, oh no, it should be good. There was another one in the fridge that was good, and then there was one that was bad. But I was like, now you have two. So you have one that doesn't even need to be in there. And it's just taking up space. And she loves dips. They love all the condiments. She has them for all the different meals. So she does need a bigger space for condiments, but that means it's even more important that real estate of the condiment door needs to be evaluated often so that she's not, cluttering it up with stuff that she doesn't use anymore or she shouldn't use anymore. I love you, Mom. I love you. But we gotta get rid of the expired foods. I don't know if she's even been watching it. Let me know, Mom, if you watch this. Okay. I love you. All right, the next thing that I always say is zoning your fridge. So my mom does, Jessica, she knows. My mom does have this designated section. I have my heater on, so it's blowing my hair. The whole door is for that. And now she gets too many because she can't fit any in there, then it's going to overflow into other areas of the fridge and it actually starts to get jumbled. You're going to start getting that cluttered feeling. But what's important is that she does have a designated spot. So for her, she needs to realize, okay, if her door is full and she's having to put condiments somewhere else in the fridge, that's a sign to her that she needs to declutter that area. Okay, so I'm going to actually talk a little bit more in depth about this when we get to the closet space. But thinking about your container as a boundary. I'm a Christian, and so to me, when I think about boundaries and the goodness in them, I think about how God, our creator, has created boundaries in a good way. My favorite one is to just think about the ocean and the water all over the earth. There's so much of it, and without a set boundary, it would take over everything. Everything would be covered in water, right? And so it's so good that there is a boundary. And so what you want to think about in your own home is boundaries of this space, of the container. Okay, so this is Bisquick, okay? This is the container. This is a huge container. Bisquick things come in huge boxes. So it needs to be a big container. That makes sense. But if I start trying to put 2 Bisquick things in here, well, why do I have 2? Do I even consume that many at a time? Should I get another container? Do I have room on my shelves as a container? Do I have room in my pantry for a ton of Bisquick? You know, start thinking about, at some point we got to limit it. I'm just trying to decide if I should say it now. I guess it won't hurt to say it twice. But an analogy I was thinking of is if I have a cup, and I'm going to my fridge and I'm going to get some more water, right? Well, you notice me getting water and I don't stop when it overflows. And you're like, hey, you're overfilling your cup. I'm like, I know, I really, really love water. Okay, well, but you're overflowing it. Why don't you drink what you have and then fill it up some more or get a bigger cup, right? Well, I don't want a bigger cup. I like this cup and I don't want to drink it yet. I like all of these things. I want all of the water. Well, then you start to get into a spot where it's like, well, it doesn't make sense anymore. Like you have a limit and you're going over it. You can't even consume what you have because it's going everywhere. And so thinking about your spaces in your home, if you're overflowing out of it, it's not the container that's the problem. We have to live within our means. We have to live with what we have and where we are, and in that place of contentment and being okay with it, not dreaming of a bigger house, a bigger pantry, you know, all these things. You can be organized in your space with what you have. So we just have to realize, okay, this size home I'm in is the means that I have, and this is where I should live and exist, and I got to make it functional and work where we are. Now, if you need, you know, because that maybe you're a family of 6, of 8, and you have a smaller home, a smaller pantry, maybe it was an older house, and you have to, you know, make a new container in order to meet the demands of your family, that makes sense, but that just means that something else is going to need to be less so you can make room for that. These containers, these were from Marketplace. I got these when I was going to do my mom's pantry, and then these weren't the right size and these weren't the right fit for her. And so I took them. I was like, I'll buy them for myself then. And so I did. I love them. They were a really good deal. Same thing with the cereal containers. But you can get these at TJ Maxx for cheaper. Don't go to the container store. Don't do that. They're way more expensive there. Okay. That same concept applies both to the fridge and to the pantry. If you have room in your home to have another spot for a pantry or another fridge, like the garage, you know, a lot of people do that, then that's fine. You're creating another container and you have the space for it. It's not taking away something, then that's fine. Just keeping in mind your whole home space and what you're going to give up in order to do that. And as long as it matches, as long as it brings harmony to your home and peace to your home, then keep going and doing that. Okay. All right, as far as containing goes, so we're getting rid of all of the declutter or all of the clutter in our homes or in this section, the cans, expired food, we're just tossing out things that we know we're just not going to eat. It's just been sitting there. The next thing is about containing. Always think about the size or the amount of the item you have. We have a lot of canned foods. I'm looking at them, we have a whole shelf designated to canned foods because we use them in pretty much every meal, like the corn and the beans and the rotel and the tomatoes. Like we really do use that a lot, and we plan for pretty much like 2 or 3 weeks out. And so because of that, we have a lot of cans. So I'm thinking, you know, if I had nothing in here yet and I was planning that out, I would know I need a big space for that. As far as other items, cans, I need to be able to see. So I'm not going to put those in a container. I need to be able to grab them easily. They need a lot of room. The containers for cans is more challenging, and it usually takes up more space, and it doesn't function as well as you want to. I've seen like those roll out can ones. The problem with those is unless you have a lot of one kind of can, then that system's going to be hard for you to find what you have, which is going to mean you're going to end up buying something because you can't find it, expired food, and that's going to lead to that inflow problem rather than being able to consume what we do bring into our home. Think about clear versus opaque. I love these. I love like pasta in a clear container like this where you can have them all in a line. They're all the same size. I love that. I love seeing, oh, we need more pasta. Oh, we need more rice. That's helpful to me as far as like grocery lists and consuming, everything like that. But there are other items that are not as cute. They're not as appealing. They actually create that clutter look. Even though they're not clutter, they're something we're going to use. Those things you want to put in an opaque container, something that you're not going to be able to see through, so it actually gives you that cleaner look. What you have to do though in that situation is label it, because you're not the only one using your pantry. You might organize it. You know that all the nuts are in that box, but everybody else doesn't. So whenever you use opaque containers, you do need to label it, unless it's very obvious to everyone in your family what goes in there. For example, let me show you an example real quick. Now, I haven't organized this yet, so keep that in mind. All right. Are my socks? All right, so right here. So see these items, and these items kind of change in my home. You'll see that mine are not labeled because I actually really don't label a lot of things in my home because I change everything around all the time, and it would be stressful to change out my labels all the time, so I don't. But this one is very obviously the chip basket. I actually used to have two separate ones, and it just was easier and cuter to do a big one, and so that's what we went with. Now, when I organize chips, I do file them where they're like up this way, and I put them in rainbow order actually. But it's been a little crazy. My kids were also helping me unload the groceries yesterday, and so it needs me. All right, but chips, even in rainbow order, are not the cutest. So having them in something like this where it's more discreet and I'm not seeing every individual bag of chips is better for us. These items here, I could label these. These Cheez-Its I would actually probably put with the chips. Somebody put that back in the wrong spot, but it's okay because I didn't label it and I didn't tell them, right? But I have like little bags. Beef jerky we don't usually have, but it's a bag like these. So that's why it's in here. It's kind of like a topping. There are those croutons. Let's just see if these are expired. Oh no, look. What's that? July 2025. We got time to eat salad. Yay! Actually, these things probably are. So let's see. Trying to find one because it's actually my favorite game to see how old something is in the home. Well, I can't even read that. What's that say? Best Buy. Look, I can't even tell. I'm gonna say those are done. We're gonna throw those away. There's the coupons. This was actually, I went through this like pasta thing that I really, really liked, but then I got pregnant and I didn't like it anymore. So these might be bad. But see why they don't put it all, like just everybody put it at the bottom, please. And then it would save me so much time in people's pantries. This doesn't even have a date. Sketchy. Okay, well, I won't waste your time with that. I'll look at that again later. But that's something that I would do. I would definitely put some other items in opaque bins versus what is in a clear bin. Okay? All right. Those Oreos. My 2-year-old knows where they've been in a drawer where he can get into. And we'll just catch him getting Oreos all the time. And we're like, you cannot do that. So I'm trying to find a new spot for them. But then if I put them up high, I'll forget that they're there. And then we won't consume them. So I'm like, how can we have Oreos in a better spot? I'm always problem solving, right? Like that's part of managing our home, problem solving, like, okay, if this is a problem in my home, how do I fix it? What's going to be a better solution, and meet all the needs it needs to meet. All right. Oh, it's 3:20, but I'm going to give you guys a professional organizer tip. Most people do. I know, I have all these videos of him getting it, and he always has like the little like goatee beard thing with it. Stop eating the Oreos. This is a professional tip that most people don't realize. But if you've I've never worked at a grocery store, but I always want to talk to people who do work at grocery stores. I thought I heard footsteps. It might have been Ezra. You heard me talking about the Oreos. Oh my God, sorry. I got so distracted by that. People at grocery stores do this. And I want to know what they're trained, what they're told. If they're told all of like the science behind it, I don't know. But if my stuff was like this, oh, or there's one back there. Okay, no, they're a little crooked, so that kind of adds to the drama here. But a lot of people will push things all the way back on their shelves because they're like, oh, there's space in the front. Don't do it. Don't do that, because actually this is a clutter catcher. Okay. So somebody's going to be walking in and like, oh, there's space right here. And they're not going to put a pen, but they might put another food item back because there's space right here. There's something about surfaces. I really want to study the science behind it, because like counters, any flat surface, it just accumulates all the stuff. We just set things down on it. And so one of your tips, not only because we want to avoid that like human habit, but it also doesn't look as nice when things are pushed back to the back of the shelf. So even if you have deep shelves, you want to bring all of your items forward, because then it's going to look so much better, and it's going to prevent that stuff that we were just talking about. Okay, like already, even crooked or not, like that's going to be helpful, or visually appealing. Okay, and then put it in color order, even things that are in neutral. Grouping your colors together and kind of fading. I could probably put the rice here. I think technically that's darker than this, so I'd probably adjust that. But again, I haven't been in my pantry very much. My husband has really, really been carrying that weight of our home for 9+ months, because that pregnancy is hard. All right, labeling. I mentioned that. Picking labels that work for you. Be very general in your labeling. Don't be very specific. Like I wouldn't say croutons on that one bin, because croutons aren't always in our home. I would do something more general, maybe like toppings, because toppings for yogurt or toppings for salads or whatever, could be more general in that area. But all of those are really kind of topping snack things, so that's why I haven't labeled it for me personally. I wouldn't label cereal. To me, that just doesn't make sense. That's a waste of a label, but you could if you want to. If you always have the same cereal, you could label it. But if it's in a basket, labeling just that basket. Breakfast or cereal could work. Just depends on what you always have. We have, I'm trying to think of other general labels. Cooking, baking, those are good general labels. Snacks. If you always have a certain kind of snack, you could label it, but if your kids are going to grow out of that, you might not want to make a label for it. It just kind of depends on what works for your home. Okay, one of the big things that you need to know about organizing is it's not a one and done. You have to maintain whatever system you create. But it's not only you. If you have other people in your home, you got to make sure it's something that they can maintain as well too. And that's why those labels really help with that. But also, every time I go to the grocery store, I'm doing a reset of the space. So the fridge, if I can do it before we go to the store, I try to empty it out. That way I'm not leaving the fridge open for a long time trying to clean out and then put things in and organize it. But when you're bringing your groceries in, you already just take a couple minutes and just say, what needs to be pulled out of here? Oh yeah, these pickles are gross. Like, let me get these out of here. This half-eaten piece of pizza, that's trash. Clearing your stuff out as you go. Same thing with your pantry. Just doing a quick reset, quick organization, little reset, bringing your things to the front. That's going to overall help you maintain that system and check in with what you have and what you don't. Okay. I said that. Okay, so both of these things apply for the pantry and the fridge. Hopefully that is helpful to you guys. If you're local, I hope you're enjoying the snow. That's where my older kids and my husband are right now. And it's been beautiful to get to see it. I don't know what that was. That scared me. There have been so many distractions today. I'm so sorry. I'm not usually in this spot right here for so long. But anyway, I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I hope that you're making progress. I hope you're feeling good about it. If you're feeling unmotivated, check in with me, message me, you know, show me the space that's giving you the funk, that's making you struggle. And then, you know, maybe we can get you unstuck, okay? Look at this hair. All right, well, that's all I have for you guys today. Enjoy your weekend. I'll probably post a couple of tips for Sunday when you start the master closet, if not a video, but we will, I'll let you know on the page. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will see you later.